important that we're all together. And I know that Al has a statement that he'd like to read regarding this trial that is now ongoing and is not being stopped by Mayo and the other 15 different hospitals that are participating. If you could read that statement, Al, would be great. Thank you.
Oscar, I think the statement I would like to make is that based on Dr. McCarthy and the Northwestern IRB's prior non-compliance, that all of these institutions that are currently affiliating with Dr. McCarthy are, by the mere fact of affiliation, also in non-compliance with FDA regulations. And I'm not sure that the world or each of these institutions completely understands that.
Can you be a little bit more specific? Why are they in non-compliance? So when somebody looks at this and said, well, Mr. Why is that the case? Why?
Dr. McCarthy originally, excuse me, Dr. McCarthy originally conducted a heart ring study in 2006 to 2008. He was told to stop by the IRB at that point. He did not. He continued, and up through approximately 2019 or 2020, he's exposed a total of 1,000 patients to this illegal clandestine activity. That's a significant violation of each of those patients' consent, and he should be held accountable for that. The way for these institutions to correctly act would be to disaffiliate from this study, which is being run or sponsored by McCarthy and Northwestern University. Does that help?
Yeah, so that helps a lot. Now, we also have two other patients that were enrolled in this study. I would like to hear from them and asking them if they ever also got consent to be in the studies. And if not, what has happened to them since? So could you please, I think there's two patients on this call. Could you state your name and what happened and that you did not get consent, and Dr. McCarthy is now in these other, conducting these trials?
Is Tony there?
Yeah. Why don't you talk in the phone?
Okay, I can't hear.
Yes, hi. My name is Tony Boholas. Is this better now?
Yes, sounds good.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I was never informed that I was going to be part of a trial. I never was informed that I was going to receive the Mixel ring. I was never informed that I was going to get the Etricure, and I had no idea. And McCarthy was hosting this trial.
Yes, and you never got a letter from Northwestern explaining you were part of these investigational trials?
Never.
Yeah, and then you had to have a second heart surgery at Cleveland to remove the device, and then you had to go to Mayo to take care of the heart failure.
That is correct, yes.
Yes, and you sent an email to Mayo over the weekend letting them know that they're working with Dr. McCarthy and he has not informed you, so he is not in compliance of the FDA's federal determination that everyone needs to be informed.
Yes.
Okay. And then we have Maureen Overmeyer. Maureen, thanks for for joining. Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, can
Okay.
hear you.
I had
Me?
surgery
You
in
have to bring the phone back
2006.
over to the Zoom because we can't hear her unless your phone
You
is.
can't hear
on.
me?
Okay.
Sorry.
What do I have to do?
No, it's okay.
Can you hear me?
Now I
I
can
can
hear
hear
you,
you.
Maureen.
Let's go ahead.
Okay. I had surgery in 2006. I never gave informed consent. I had no idea that I was in a study. I had a heart attack during the surgery because the ring was too large for my heart. And Dr. McCarthy never even told me that I had a heart attack during surgery. I found this out only through follow-up with my regular cardiologist because it was such a bad experience at Northwestern. I didn't want to go back there. I didn't know that Dr. McCarthy, he never told me that he invented this ring or that I was getting a ring that he invented. I found out it was the McCarthy Mixo ring when I got the ID card in the mail weeks later. And so nobody told me I was in a study. Nobody told me I was going to be experimented on, and nobody's done anything about it.
Yeah, and now, when you got a letter from Northwestern, did it mention that you got an investigational
No,
device?
no, it did not. And, you know, I just want to know if Northwestern is so politically powerful along with Dr. McCarthy that nothing gets done because is it just all about the money? You know, is it all about power and money and really not the patients? I mean, nobody seems to care. Nobody does anything. The FDA doesn't care. I mean, aren't they supposed to be protecting us? And that's not happening. No one will acknowledge this. McCarthy gets off scot-free everywhere he turns because he's like this famous surgeon. It doesn't matter the way he treats patients. Like we're, I don't know, like we're,
Yeah.
yeah, like
And
we're
now,
guinea pigs.
and now the FDA has gone on the record that Northwestern needs to contact 1,000 patients. So we're waiting for the enforcement of that compliance. And Al, do you have any other comments before we wrap this up?
I would just say that, again, affiliating with this situation, which is definitely non-compliant. There was no informed consent. There was no notice given to us as 3 patients. And I suspect as all the additional patients that Dr. McCarthy did surgery on, that this device was investigational. And so there are a host of regulatory violations here that other institutions ought to be thoroughly aware of and disaffiliate themselves from this. Otherwise, just the way regulations are set up, FDA regulations are set up, these institutions inherit or become non-compliant by affiliating with Dr. McCarthy's research.
And the reason why we're all trying to push forward is that the FDA recently had a problem with the compliance and the whole baby formula situation. So Peter Pitts, who is a former associate commissioner for the FDA, has made a statement about what's going on at Northwestern and said the question is not right now clinical effectiveness. The question is whether this investigator is in regulatory compliance and whether he respects the FDA regulatory laws. And he's been outspoken on the delays on getting baby formula out there. And now the supply chain is finally getting caught up. Now we've got a situation where we have a decade-old inspection of Northwestern having and a determination that all these patients need to be told. And here's 3 patients, all of them that underwent the surgery, all of them that have had complications. And now they haven't been told yet. And Northwestern has an obligation. And, we're very grateful. The new president has stepped down, unfortunately has developed a serious illness, but she vowed to help all of you. And, hopefully, even if she's not there, her statements, your letter to the editor will make a difference. So we're hoping someone takes your story, helps the other patients, and gets information out there. Anything else, Oscar? Did you hear anything from Mayo?
No, not yet. No, I've not heard anything from Mayo. So it's very disappointing, to say the least.
Can you say that again? Sorry.
It's very disappointing that they haven't stepped up as a premier health institution to disassociate themselves from Dr. McCarthy. So as Al Edwards said, this is just a dark mark on them for not doing that.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thanks, everyone. And I'll keep you posted. Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay.
Thank
bye-bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.